Hello there! There is massive hype because I am recording this approximately 50 minutes before the reset for Season 3. Now, as some of you may know, I have been playing PTR non-stop since it came out. I have been on there every single day. I have played all 6 tanks, I have played almost every healer, and I have played the vast majority of DPS. It is time for me to make a decision. The most important decision that you will ever make before a World of Warcraft season. That's right, it is time for me to decide my main character. Now, what is it going to be? After testing everything, after seeing how things are going to play, after kind of figuring out what it is that I want to accomplish next season, what is it that I am maining? And the answer is most likely staring you right in the face. It is my Guardian Druid. But let me explain, because I don't think that is the end-all be-all. Guardian Druid is in a relatively rough spot going into next season, and the meta decision that you choose is pretty important. If anything, it's almost silly that I have to make this video because I kind of wish I could just play everything. One of the reasons I like PTR so much is because I get to try all the characters. I get to be like, oh, let's play Brewmaster today, and oh, let's play my VDH, and let's play some Blood DK, or whatever it ends up being. The truth is, World of Warcraft makes it so that you must commit to one character. I know some people like this. I know. Some people play on Moonguard and they like the RP element. They appreciate having to gear and actually play one character. This isn't me. I like the game. I like playing the game, and I sort of wish that it was easier for me to maintain several ults. I wish that it was more accessible. I would even have played a lot more retail if I could simply log over to a character and have sent my crest on my main character, which I don't know if you're in this situation, but my Guardian Druid has something like thousands and thousands and thousands of crests that I very much wish I could send to my ults because I would play them. That would be very nice, wouldn't it? Unfortunately, no. Blizzard has made it so that at the current stage of World of Warcraft, it is more alt-friendly than it's ever been, but for some reason it does not feel that way. I don't know if it's just because we as players don't like to grind as much. I don't know if it's because we just don't play 20 hours a day degenerately like we used to. I'm not sure what it is, but for some reason it feels so impossible to start an alt later in the season. Let me know what you think it is. I think it's just the time commitment. I swear that it's more accessible because of the crest upgrade, but the thought process of doing 1,000 crests just seems absolutely impossible. All right? There's my big bear. There's my big bear. He's kind of cute, isn't he? Listen, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Why am I going to main Guardian Druid? Actually, I'm going to main 2 things. The key meta next season is quite determined. I believe, based on PTR testing and some of the scaling changes that they have made, that ultimately tank damage is going to matter. There are some seasons it doesn't. There are some seasons where tanks are getting beat up, and the only thing that matters is tanking and being very alive. I think that you will notice this not even as keys get very high, but also in kind of the mid-range of keys. Lower keys, not so much. But as you start pushing in the season, I do believe that you will get to the end of a key sometimes with just a few deaths, and you won't have time. It happens a lot this season in Rookery, Theater of Pain, Workshop, these very linear dungeons where there's not a lot that you can do to route it faster. And it just feels so bad to go in one of those keys, playing a Guardian Druid, for example, and not being able to compete with damage, whereas I know my warrior or another tank would have timed that key. This happened a lot to me when I was still pushing on retail this season, and I would deplete a Theater of Pain that I needed by 10 seconds. Now, if you take a look, I mean, the last key that I did, this was my Guardian Druid damage. This is a 15 Floodgate. I was helping a friend. Not a particularly hard key, but here we are. Guardian can keep up. Guardian doesn't do bad damage. However, next season, I worry for it. After testing a bunch on PTR, even if we do play Druid of the Claw, I believe that Guardian damage will be behind. But, this is the big but, alright? People like big buts. The thing is, tuning is going to happen. The meta in a season is not decided right now. When we're deciding our mains and we're watching all the tier lists and we're trying to figure out, oh, what's going to be the best, like, there's going to be tuning. Meta is often decided in the middle of the season when we're geared and we have characters, and then they make a 0.5 patch come out. We don't actually know what the meta is going to be. We have no idea. We can predict and we can speculate, and I can tell you that right now there are 2 tanks, in my opinion, that are far ahead of everything else. I'm going to main one of them. There's one of them that I'm going to have because I have time to main 2 characters. Guardian Druid is going to be one of them. If, for any reason, these 2 tanks get nerfed, then Guardian is in a perfectly fine spot and will be very desired. It will be just fine. Actually, all they really need to do is they need to bring down the other 2 tanks, which shall not be named until we get to the drama content part of the video. So we're still talking about Guardian Druid. Bear with me here. Guardian will be just fine. Tank-wise, no problem. I think that next season, there's actually not that many tank busters, and they've nerfed the ones that do exist. So ultimately, any tank is going to be able to live. You could live on a Blood DK, you could live on a Guardian Druid just fine. So what you bring to your team is damage and CC. In terms of CC, Guardian Druid is lacking slightly, but no more than a Brewmaster. You actually have just as much to offer, if not more in some cases, and you'll be just fine. It's not the CC that holds it back, it's the fact that on PTR right now, even if you do play a max damage build on Guardian, you are still millions of DPS behind. It's not close. If it was within 10%, I would be like, look guys, 10% tank damage is not the end all be all. It's like 30%. It's like 30, 40%. Like, it's a lot, all right? In this current season, I can keep up. In this current season, I do not feel like damage has been Guardian Druid's downfall. Single target, last boss rookery, sure. These niche scenarios, sure. But overall, I feel like I keep up pretty well. Next season, it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like that. And I worry. I don't ever want to have a feeling where I choose my main character and then I bring it to somebody's key and I feel like I'm trolling them. I don't want that feeling. I don't mind playing the not quote-unquote meta choice if it's something that fits with my playstyle. But do you know how bad it feels for your friends who invite you? They're like, hey, woo, I see you're on. Like, I got this push key. I got this key next season. Do you want to come? And then I'm like, yeah, let me bring my Guardian Druid. And they go, ooh, oh man, we want to play with a woo maybe, but the Guardian Druid, really? That is something I want to avoid. I don't want to put myself in that scenario. I don't ever want to feel like I'm trolling, knowing that if I was simply playing a different tank, we would have so much more success in the key. If I think it's close, I don't mind. If I have to work a little harder, I don't mind. But ultimately, although I love the playstyle of Guardian, this is my favorite tank, I don't want to troll my team. So realistically, I'm maining 2 tanks. Number 1 is Guardian. Number 2, in case all the things I said are true, and in case that is what happens, Prot Warrior is my next choice. I believe there are 2 tanks. Ultimately, there are 2 tanks that are going to do top damage next season, unless there's nerfs post-Race to World First, because both of these tanks are also very good in Raid. Just saying. Prot Warrior might get nerfed, but right now it's Prot Warrior and Brewmaster. In terms of playstyle, I much prefer Prot Warrior. I don't really like the way that Brew plays in higher keys. I don't really like fighting for my life in Red Stagger all the time, so personally, my choice would be Prot Warrior. Mountain Thane Prot Warrior is incredibly strong next season, and if for some reason you needed it, you could still play Colossus. Prot Warrior is going to be my second main. In terms of my goals next season, I simply want to do keys, and I want to blast. That's it. You know, honestly, tanks just want to have fun, all right? I want to be a tank, I want to be a tanky tank, and I want to do a tank that does damage and that no one regrets playing with. That's my biggest thing. Whether or not I get title, I don't really care. If I find some people to play with and we got a consistent team and we want to push for title, great. And if we don't, that's okay. My IO doesn't have to be a massive metric for my success in the season. I'm okay if I just get, just below title. That's fine. The end of the title push is annoying. I don't know if you've ever tried it before. It is currently 8:20 p.m. my time. Reset is in 40 minutes. And there are some of my friends are literally online trying to get their last key right now. That is a miserable way to play the game. You are never safe. You are never free for 6 months. That doesn't sound very fun to me. So title pushing is not really my thing, but nonetheless, I still want to play as if I was title pushing. I want to play a tank that is just as valuable, and I want to do just as good as somebody who is pushing that hard. So even if I don't get title, I don't want to troll my team. Hence, Prot Warrior. Prot Warrior does massive damage. It has everything that I want. The playstyle is very straightforward, and I like straightforward playstyles. Ultimately, if you're watching a video like this, you're also probably trying to decide your main. Can I give you a massive piece of advice? I don't normally give advice, but I'd like to give you some advice because this is really important. This is so critically important to understand. We don't know what the meta is going to be. There will be tuning. You should choose based on playstyle more than anything. I like tanks that are straightforward and chill. I like tanks that are easy because when I play the game, I'm streaming, having a great time, hanging out with people. So I don't really want a tank that if I miss a single global, I'm a floor point of view. I don't really want to do that. There are some tanks that don't fit my personality. Brewmaster, Blood DK, Missile Death Strike, right? A bad Gather on VDH, although right now that tank is still very good and pretty easy to play. So for me, Prot Warrior, Prot Paladin, Guardian Druid, these are my 3 favorite tanks, and I'm happy to play any of them in the season. Ultimately, I can maintain 2, so Guardian Druid and Prot Warrior are both my choices. I don't think that you will, in most of your key levels, notice a difference between all of them. You can play any tank to a proficient level, you'll be able to time all the keys that you want to time. But as key levels do get higher, and as you approach that range where timers get really, really tight, Prot Warrior does significantly more damage for effectively no more effort. You walk into a pack, you hit Thunder Blast, and then you hit Thunder Blast, and then, well, you hit Thunder Blast, and, well, you hit Thunder Blast a few more times, and congratulations, you are doing significantly more damage than any of the nuanced rotations of pretty much any other tank. I like that. You might describe that as too simple and anti-fun. I would describe that as fantastic. That's exactly what I'm after. My playstyle, I like chill things. Now, as a caveat to this video, that's basically my thoughts on tanking. I believe that tank damage will matter next season. I wouldn't mind playing a Prot Warrior, although I don't really like how it plays in Raid. It's very spammy and always trying to get your shield slam resets and hitting that button even faster than is possible. Not a huge fan of. But ultimately, I'll make it work. Okay, those are my tanks. I want to play Guardian Druid. I want to play Prot Warrior for the reasons I described. If, for any reason, it is balanced, I will play Guardian Druid. Now, we move on. Are you ready? Because I don't know if you know me, but I know me. And if you know me, then you know I am a massive ultaholic. My goal next season is probably to play every single spec to at least 3 KIO, so I will maintain almost everything. I'll probably play at least 10 characters to at least a reasonable IO. I enjoy it. It's a fun challenge for me. Just to gear them up is hard, but ultimately I'll just bring them. I'll make some friends and I'll say, hey, can you take my rat hunter? Can you take my rat warlock? He's such a rat. He could cook in a kitchen in Paris. You know, I could do whatever. Ultimately, I'm going to play a bunch of characters, but in terms of my mains, I main tank. It's my favorite role in World of Warcraft. I will definitely be playing tank more than anything else. So, tanking, number 1. Numero dos, number 2, is what healer I will play, because I'll always maintain a healer. I don't really like how Resto Druid plays, so if I have my Guardian Druid, technically I can off-spec to Resto. But unfortunately, I'm not a huge Resto Druid enjoyer. So, I will choose one healer to maintain. I don't really have time to do 2 early on in the season. I have 2 choices for my favorite healers. My favorite healer of all time is Preservation Evoker, and I think it looks very good next season. But you know the problem with Preservation Evoker? No one else thinks it looks good next season, and nobody wants to play with you, which again is a bad feeling. If you are still watching this video at this point, I don't know how long I've been rambling, but you're still here. Hello. It's nice to see you. Although I suppose I can't see you, but let's move on. You know how bad it feels to choose a character that nobody wants to play with. Even if you're not trolling your team, even if you are actually going to be top damage. If no one wants to play with you, then you sit basically where I'm sitting, spam refreshing looking for group, and that is no fun. It's not fun to play like that. So, my problem with Prez is ultimately the community perception on that spec is so bad that I don't think I would get to play it. That's what happened to me this season. I actually wanted to push pretty close to the title on Prez, and I decided I was going to do it. I had him geared, I maintained that character, and I went for it. And I was like, all right, guys, I started whispering my friends list. I was like, hey, can we do some keys? Yeah, I got into some 19s. I was healing them. I was doing a good job. And ultimately, no one invited me back. I asked the next day, hey, can I play with you guys? And they were like, you remember when we stood in a swirly and died to a massive overkill? Well, unfortunately, it's your fault as a Preservation Evoker, and therefore, we don't want to play with you again. And I was like, well, all right. Fair enough. If I was a Disc Priest, maybe I could have saved you. Or, potentially, could have not stood in the swirly. But that's a story for another time. Preservation Evoker's hard. It's just that nobody wants to play with you, and I don't really like playing like that. So I don't think I'll be playing my Prez next season. It takes a lot for me to maintain a character that doesn't have a tank spec. So I would have to actually be playing it. I'm still going to do 110 every week, and you never know. Maybe I'll get really lucky with vaults and decide somewhere in the middle of the season, if people actually accept that healer, that I could play it. But man, it just feels so bad to not be able to play the game. I mean, it's my favorite healer. I think it can do everything that everybody else wants it to do, and it just, you don't get to play. So the healer I will actually most likely play that fits my playstyle, I think there are 3 obviously good choices. I believe I will be maintaining my Restoration Shaman. Farseer is a delight. I quite like Farseer. I like the choices that it has to make, and I like the way it heals. Very straightforward, very direct, very powerful. 12-second kick, cap totem, earth ellie. You know I'm going to use it. I play tank, I play DPS, I'm aware of the keys. I will use all my utility as a shaman, and it is glorious to play a spec that has so much to offer your team, as well as a very desired group buff. So, aside from preservation, I could be a mediocre shaman player and probably get more invites than a very good preservation evoker. I'll maintain my pres, but realistically for healing, I will be playing my restoration shaman. After all my PTR testing, I think that Farseer is kind of being slept on, and I think you're going to see a lot more of it than you might realize. Very good healer right now, like incredibly good. And I don't think people quite understand the potential because everybody was very excited to play Resto Druid on PTR, so trust me, it's a bit of a sleeper pick. I would not be surprised to see quite a bit of the meta comps, even in higher keys, running a Restoration Shaman who's playing Farseer, not Totemic. That'll be an interesting change. I think that I will be maintaining that. In terms of pure DPS specs, I don't know if I'll have time. I think that my favorite playstyle would probably be my Warlock, and I think that all 3 Warlock specs are actually in a pretty good spot moving into next season. I also quite like Hunter DPS, all 3 specs as well. I don't mind a few others. I kind of enjoy a good Ret Pally face roll, but ultimately, I will not have that much time. So early on in the season, you will see me playing mostly 3 different specializations. Number 1, Guardian Druid. Number 2, Prot Warrior. And number 3, Restoration Shaman Farseer. I think it'll be a really fun season. After testing the dungeons on PTR, they've made some pretty good changes. It's going to be an amazing season. This last season was also pretty amazing. But if you're still watching, once again, this far into the video, hello. What are you doing here? You should get ice cream. No, don't listen to me. Actually, do listen to me. You should get ice cream. Beside the point, listen. Play what you want to play. We invest hundreds of hours into World of Warcraft. Whatever you decide, whatever this video, after this video, you watch this, whatever you decide, you are investing hundreds of hours of your time to a game that you are paying to play. Make sure that you enjoy it. Part of enjoying the game is not sitting in Dornagal, not getting invites. But make sure that you decide something that you are genuinely going to have a passion playing. If you fought on reroll to something that you don't want to play, you're probably inting yourself because you don't even know if it really will be fought on all the way at the end of the season. That's a long ways away. It's a very long ways away. So make sure that you enjoy the game. Think about the play style of the spec instead of just what you see on a tier list. Give or take, anything that's S or A plus or A tier is a solid choice. Maybe consider the things that are not. But ultimately, we don't know what tuning is going to be. So think about the thing that you're just excited about. Think about, okay, the season's coming out. I'm excited to wake up tomorrow and play what? That should be your main for the season. I think that all of this meta talk and meta comp prediction and all these things that we're so passionate about, we just don't want to waste our time. And I understand. But please do yourself a favor and just play the thing you love. You're going to have such a better season if you just do that, and then use some of the strategies, if you are a little off meta, to make sure that you can still play the game. So those are my thoughts. That's what I am going to main next season. Those are the reasons I have for it. And I will see you tomorrow on stream, potentially. Well, if you're watching this in the future, it might not be tomorrow, but wow.